Okay, so the last video I had posted, it cut off at the end. My alarm clock went off for me to go back to work, and it cut the video off for me. So I left off saying that he called me and he was crying or whatever, and he was telling me he was drunk and he was sitting thinking about his grandma, and now also my mom, because I did express to him when we first got together that I lost my mom at 16. My mom been gone for a minute, so I still feel things, but I'm not in that area where I cry every day. You know what I'm saying? So he was having his moment where he was thinking of his grandma, and then now he added my mom into the equation too. So now he crying for my mom and his grandma. And I'm trying to tell him, it ain't that serious. You can, my mom is gone. My mom is in a good place. I know she is. I done let her soul rest. I'm not there no more. I don't do all that crying and stuff. I do still miss her and I still love her, but I got her in my heart. And he's just like, how do you get there? How do you get to that point? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try and help him heal as much as I can. And so that's how he got me. Like I said, he be pulling on them heartstrings. So I'm at work. I get this call from him and he's saying he's drunk and he needs to talk to me or whatever. So when I get off work, I head to him, which is another city, 45 minutes away. I go to him, and by the time I got him off the phone, he had done calmed down with all the crying and everything. So he's good now. So I'm off. I'm headed to him. We good. We talking the whole way there. When I get there, he's standing outside of his brother's baby mama's apartment with a duffel bag. And I'm like, where you going with a duffel bag, babe? And he was like, that's what I gotta tell you. He was like, so I'm gonna go over here and stay with my other people because they put me a little closer to where you live and a little closer to my job or whatever. He was like, but only thing is that I gotta wait till like 6:30 for them to wake up so I could take my stuff in their house, and then I can go to work after that or whatever. So I'm like, okay, because I usually don't leave him until about 6 or 7 o'clock or whatever. So it was still in the time frame that we usually depart each other. So I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So he was just telling me that with him staying over here, it'll put him a little closer to, where I live, and then I ain't got to travel so far. He ain't got to travel so far for us to see each other or whatnot. And so he was like, yeah, so, so I think that's a good thing. He was like, until we, we'll work on getting a place and all this and stuff. And I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, so you for real, for real? He was like, man, I want you. I want to be with you forever. Like, you gonna be my wife, this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, okay, I done heard this before. And so at this time, I'm kind of like, I don't know if marriage gonna be for me, because I keep getting all these flukes and ain't nothing happening. So let's just take it, take it slow. But it's good to know that you do want to eventually get married, because that's something that I need in one of the qualities of the man that I'm dating. You know what I'm saying? At least see yourself getting married one day, and he did. So now we've already discussed that or whatever. So we're going to move forward, because now after he moved here, now he can start coming to my house. Because at that time, he still hadn't been to my house yet. I'm still traveling back and forth to see him. So now that he's a little closer, he can come to me now. So we move forward to him coming to my house or whatever. And at this time, no, I haven't met his mom or anything like that. I met the baby mama of the brother at this point. That's it. Haven't met any family members. So the first time he came over to my house, remember I told you when we went fishing, he had his nephew with him. So when he came to my house for the first time, the brother's baby mama dropped him off at my house and left him with his nephew. So he had his baby nephew over there with me, and I had my nephew and my son as before. So it was cool, you know what I'm saying? Because then my son and my nephew, they all was like close in age a little bit. My baby nephew was probably closer to his nephew's age than my son was. My son was older than both of them. So he came over and, you know, he chilled. He wanted the kids. He, you know, did what kids do. So, and then it started being a routine thing. He would come with the kid. I don't know what the kid had to do with the situation. I just think that he was being, you know what I'm saying, that was probably his way of keeping, because they always got a supply for something. Somebody is doing something for them to be doing something for them. You know what I'm saying? So if he's keeping his nieces and nephew them, then maybe the baby mama would give him these rides to my house and whatever else he was doing or whatever. So I don't know, you know what I'm saying, if it was really a big deal that he had the kid with him all the time. So he comes over, he chilling, you know, everything's good. But it's just that every time we spend time together, it is hard getting rid of him, or it's hard for me to leave. You know what I'm saying? He would start that crying mess and start making me feel bad. And then once he came to the house, my house, he started doing the insecure thing. Like, oh, why I can't stay tonight? You know what I'm saying? Like, what, you finna have somebody else come over here? Like, are you not really feeling me? Like, what did I do wrong? Why I can't stay tonight again? And this, that, and that. Okay, sir, you've already stayed the night once before. You don't live here. So, and I have a roommate at this point. So I got to be considerate to other people. You know what I'm saying? We sharing the space. People want to live how they live. So, you know, I get it. You know, you my man or whatever. I would love for you to be here all the time. But it just ain't working out that way right now. So, you know, you're here. Sometimes that's good. But then for the most part, you need to be home. You need to, you know. So once he came to my house, what happened to his job? He must have walked off it, because, baby, I'm telling you, he was in my behind. He was on me like white on rice. After the first time he came to my house, I could not get rid of him. I mean, I literally had to force him in the car and talk him all the way home. I mean, even though he was begging and begging and begging not to go home or wherever he was staying, I still would take him back to where I got him from, because, sir, I still have a life outside of you, and I can't give you all of my time. I can give you some of my time. I still got to be a mother. I still have to work. I still have to carry on life like I was before you came into my life. So he was rushing me into a lot of stuff, and it was just happening so freaking fast that I couldn't even keep up. So, like, we was dead serious in the neck of this thing by the time Thanksgiving got here, because we got together in November 8th, we had got together. And yeah, because it was some weeks before Thanksgiving. My birthday had already passed. His birthday done passed. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, because we were together for my birthday. Yeah. November, because we was together for Thanksgiving. That's right. We spent our first Thanksgiving together, and he would not just go back home peacefully. He always had to make a scene, or like, I mean, he turned on the waterworks. Now he's crying. He's like, oh, I don't want to go home, because then I'm going to be thinking about my grandma all the time, and then I'm going to be sad, this, that, and the third. And, you know, yeah, it's pulling on my heartstrings, but, sir, at the end of the day, you need to get up, go back to work, find something to occupy your mind. He was like, but that's what I'm doing with you. And I'm like, But I can't be all of that. Like, I gotta go to work. I'm going to work. You need to get active, do something, instead of just sitting around just thinking or whatever. So let's just say he wasn't worried about money because he was getting a government check. So they ain't playing about them government checks. So for him, he ain't want to, I was making too many hours anyway, and so I don't want to get my check cut off. So him not having a job with nothing, you know what I'm saying? But as long as that check coming, we good to go. So yes, he dropped the job. It was on me, like white on rice. He on my trail. I don't know why. I'm just thinking the man just crazy, and in his feelings for me, this, that, and the third. So he's giving me a hard time every time it's time for him to go home. He wants to start this crying game. He want to make up every excuse why he don't need to go home, and that if he goes home, he feels like I'm gonna not want to contact him no more, want to be with him no more. I want to just find somebody different because he too emotional. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that ain't gonna make me leave you. I'm like, I just need you to give me a little space so I can continue to live my life how I was before you got into my life, because now I'm neglecting some things. I'm not giving my full, how I was. I'm not giving my child the full attention he was getting. I'm not giving my job the full potential that I was giving them. I'm just neglecting a whole lot of stuff because I'm all booed up with you. You know what I'm saying? All I'm asking you to do is go home. Get yourself together. Go wash your clothes. Go do something. And we can talk on the phone. But let's take a break in between, because now it's every day. And then I'm traveling back and forth to see you, and you traveling back and forth. That's gas money. That's money. That's a bill. So, I'm trying to speak common sense to him, but he don't want to hear that. He like, want. You gonna cheat on me if I go home. I don't want to leave your side because I don't want to leave the door open for nobody else to slide in, because I told him about the ex. And so he like, oh no. And the ex used to live here too? Nah. See, I need to be with you at all times so that way you get stunned on him, this, that, and the third, And I'm like, I don't play them type of games. I'm good. I ain't trying to prove nothing to him. I'm not with you to make him look no type of way or nothing like that. I'm with you because I want to be with you. You know what I'm saying? So he had every excuse in the book on why he needed to be with me at all times. Okay? So at this point, I am truly feeling like something is just not right. But at the same time, I'm straddling the fence, because in a way I like it, in a way I don't like it. I don't know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, okay, how can I be mad at the man? He want to spend all this time with me. And then on the other end, I was complaining because somebody didn't want to spend a whole lot of time with me. So which one is it that I really want? Do I really want him to spend time with me, or do I really want this man to go home and just give me some space for a little while? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe 2 or 3 days, not lying. Like he could give me like 2 or 3 days, or maybe even 4. That would be good, because he was on my tail every single day since the first date. I seen his face every day after that first date. When we went fishing, I seen this man's face every day after that. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I think we need a little time apart. It ain't to go and do anything to hurt the relationship or anything like that. And he made it official. We made it official, but it all just happened so fast. It was like I blinked my eye and I was in a full-blown commitment. And I didn't have time to we talked about it, and that was about it. Next thing I know, we full-blown stuck together. So it's like, I can't say no. I can't, he all bay this and bay that, and we gonna do this together, we gonna do that together, and moving things around and doing things. And I'm just like, dang, it blew. That gaslighting and hoovering. Oh, it was gaslighting and it was hoovering. It was doing all of that at the same time. So my mind was really, really gone. Anything that needed to be seen, your girl was missing that. She wasn't seeing nothing, because now this man that confessed his love to me, oh my God, I'm gonna die without. Facebook don't block me on that one, but he was deep in there, you know what I'm saying? And so I went on deep with him, you know what I'm saying? So we go to Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving gets here, and another red flag. Right before Thanksgiving, now that he done came to the house a good handful of times or whatever, I guess he feeling entitled, because my rule when I'm dating somebody is that don't pop up at my house. I don't play them games. Call me and let me know you coming, so that way I can make sure I'm straight, everything else is straight, and especially if I'm living with somebody else. Or I have a roommate. I wasn't living with somebody. We was roommating. Especially if I have a roommate. Let me know you're coming, because you're not gonna be in the home by yourself with my roommates. We just ain't gonna play like that. You know what I'm saying? So that was just my thing. And I told him that. Don't just show up here. That's a big pet peeve of mine when we're dating somebody. And so I guess he thought that the rules didn't apply to him, because he done professed his love to me and this, that, and there. We on a whole different level now. So one day I'm at work. I go to work. I get a phone call. My sister calls me and she's like, he here? I said, who? She said, you do. I'm like, no, he ain't supposed to be there. She was like, well, I'm looking out the peephole. She said, and he got a basket at the door, on the doorstep with him. And I'm like, what? A basket? She said, a basket of clothes. He's standing here with a basket of clothes. I said, let me call him. I'm at work. So I call him. Like I said, I worked at this gas station and I was the facilitator. So I could just walk outside anytime I want to, because that was part of my job anyway. Got to check on stuff. I might have to do trash, whatever. I walked out, called him, and he like, hey, baby, what's up? He was like, man, listen, I miss your face. That was his all-time famous line. He loved to say that to me. I miss your face. He was like, I'm here at the front door, but ain't nobody opening the door. I said, nobody is gonna open the door. I said, because you didn't tell me you was coming. He's like, man, come on, man. I'm here every day. I gotta really call you and let you know I'm coming. I just wanted to surprise you. I said, I don't do surprise pop-ups at my house. I was like, I'm not home. He was like, I'll just go and sit in the room all day until you get off. No, sir, you won't. My sister is home by herself, and I'm still getting to know you. So no, you can't do that. I say, call your ride back and tell them to take you back home, and I'll see you when I get off. You know what I'm saying? We had plans to see each other the next day, but he went on ahead and tried to allow himself right onto the house the day before. Can't wait, impatient. So he's like, man, I already gave them the gas money and everything, and they gone. And so I'm like, well, call them back and see if they'll come and get you. I'm at work. I can't do anything. He was like, well, I'm going to just come up to your job and sit in the car. That should have been a red flag. So I let him come on up to the job and sit in my car or whatever, because this the first time he done did this, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, I'm going to have a talk with him and let him know that this right here this ain't good for me. I don't like stuff like this. This can't be happening. So I get him to talk. He gets to the job or whatever. And when I, like I said, I could just walk out the door or whatever. So when he get there, I go and lock the car so he can sit in the car and this, that, and the third. And this still in the evening. This probably about 7 o'clock in the evening. Like I said, I don't get off until 4 a.m. in the morning. So he gonna sit there till 4 a.m. in the morning. Ask me, did he sit there till 4 a.m. in the morning? Yeah, he did. Right there in my car. He did. That ain't the last time either. He sat in my car. Okay. So I go out there and I tell him how this ain't cool and this could never ever happen again, this, that, and the third. And, he turned on the waterworks on me. Man, it's just that, man, I miss my grandma so much, man. My grandma was everything to me. My grandma was the only one who loved me. I was her baby, this, that, and the third. Don't nobody know how I felt losing my grandma, man. My grandma was the best, man. When I tell you that statement made me sick to my stomach at the end of the relationship, and I felt some type of way. But then again, I didn't, because you abused it. And you made me feel that way towards the whole situation. And it's sad to say, but somebody can put something in your face so much and use it against you that it will turn something that's tragic into something that don't even seem tragic no more. It's just like, you know what? It ain't even that serious no more. That's how I was looking at it. Like, you done played this record too many times, sir. The record it's out of here. It's gone. It done flew off of the spinner, and the needle that you put on there done broke off, baby. That record player is broken. You done wore it out. So he does the crying thing, like I said, and he's talking about his grandma and this, that, and third. And then I'm just like, still, at the end of the day, after I get off, I'm going to take you home. He was like, why would you do that? I said, because I didn't tell you to come today. You were supposed to be coming tomorrow. I didn't make arrangements to come and get you or to see you today. I shouldn't have to explain to him everything that I didn't arrange. You know what I'm saying? The real thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to get my room straightened up. I had laundry that is piled up in the closet between me and my son. I want to get those things taken care of, because that's not who I am. I get a basket, and once that basket fills up, that basket get washed. I don't sit there and have piles and piles of laundry. But dealing with him took up so much of my time, I started to neglect everything that I had going on in my life. And it was focusing on him. And he was fine with that. You know what I'm saying? So I was just trying to get me a little me time. That's all. But he made me feel bad about wanting that little me time, because he hollering, oh, you want to cheat on me. Or you trying to leave the door open for somebody to come in and take you this, that, and the third. And I'm like, it's not that serious. So I took him on home. Took this man home. Like I said, he was a little bit closer, but still, I take him home, and I be god dog the next day. Now, in my mind, being that you kind of made me mad a little bit by coming a day early, and you surprised me, and you wasn't supposed to be there, as I done told you, I don't do pop-ups. I thought maybe you would just, okay, I'm going to take the day and I'm going to cool it. I'm going to let her cool down and I'm going to give her a space. No. No. That man got him a ride back over to the house the next day. And in my mind, I'm agitated, because I'm just like, man, I just want some peace to myself. Like, I liked him. I really did like him, but he was just smothering me a little bit too much. And I'm just like, okay, this is a bit much for me. I don't need a whole lot of that, just a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? But he was doing it. He was laying the icing on there good, because he had to make sure that his gaslighting was working. He had to make sure that I was gone in the head. And by me neglecting everything that I had in my life, that was a sign to him that it's working. I got her all discombobulated and screwed up, and she can't keep up with things right now. I got her mind gone over me. And he did. And I started missing everything, because they confuse you a lot. Your mind be thinking one thing, and then you seeing another thing, and then you hearing one thing. It's crazy. It's a crazy roller coaster. And so by that time, that's where I was. I was out of it. All I knew is that, okay, his his pull is more stronger than me. No matter how I'm trying to fight it, he finds some way to pull me in. And so now we moving on to Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving went good. It was straight. We still had waterworks. I'm in there cooking. This is my very first Thanksgiving meal that I'm cooking. No, I'm sorry. That's a lie. That's a lie. That is not my first time cooking a Thanksgiving meal, because before I roommated with my sister, I had my own place before, and so I've cooked Thanksgiving meals plenty of times. That was just our first Thanksgiving meal that I cooked when we started dating. So I'm standing in the kitchen. I'm cooking. Everything is normal. We got our wine. He's drinking. You know, he's out of it. He's drunk. So I'm just thinking he is a drunk. That's who I'm thinking I done got with. A drunk. No. Not only that. So we're going to keep going further into the story. So, of course, he's drunk. It's the holiday. It's the day before Thanksgiving. I'm cooking. I got my glass of wine. I'm chilling. I'm good. I'm not drunk. I'm cooking. So I'm straight. All of a sudden, out of the blue, he crying. I'm like, man, every time I turn around, this man is crying. It was cute at first, but then when he seen that worked for me, he did it as much as he can. I'm telling you, he wore that. His tears didn't even matter to me no more once the relationship got further on in. It's just, none of that stuff mattered no more. I mean, like, you really just use that stuff a little bit too much that I don't even care for it no more. So he boo-hoo crying over on the sofa. He's watching me cook. And I said, baby, what's wrong? He say, he say, man, I miss my grandma cooking, man. My grandma used to cook for us every Thanksgiving, man. We used to go over there to our house and we used to eat this, that, and the third, and then the house smelling just like my grandma's house, man. I know you can cook, man. I know you can cook, man. It smelling just like my grandma's house in here. And I'm just like, oh, Lord, give me strength. So I go over and I cuddle him and I hold him and all this here stuff. And then I got deep with it. And oh my God, that made it worse. I talk too much. So I go over there, I cuddle him and I hold him, and I decided to lick the man's tears, and just like, you know, your tears are my tears, and I feel you, you know what I'm saying? That just blew his head right off of his body. Sometimes I can't believe half the stuff I do, but God dang, I did all that, and that just turned him out, baby. That was all he needed right there. He was like, oh yeah, I'm in there. That's me imagining what he thinking. Now that I can see what was going on now, you know. So yeah, I go over there and I do all that, you know. I get him back right, you know, get him happy and smiling again, and I carry on cooking or whatever. And so then Thanksgiving Day get there and we're about to eat and all this his stuff. We say prayer. He was like, oh man, start crying again. This how we do it at my grandma's house. And I'm just like, please stop the grandma thing. I'm like, okay, let's just try to focus on Thanksgiving right now. So in the beginning, it was just a whole bunch of crying. Then it started getting weird. So we moving past Thanksgiving, because that's all he really did for Thanksgiving. He didn't do anything crazy. He just cried the whole event. Just cried because everything reminded him of his grandma. Okay. Rest her soul, she did pass. But like I said, I thought it was right before we got together. It wasn't. So now I'm really trying to push him out. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm feeling him, but something is still telling me that there's something going on with this situation. And so now that he's comfortable with me, he got more comfortable with me before I got comfortable with him. So now he's just starting to let everything out, because he's just like, I know, we sat there, we had this deep talk or whatever, and he was just like, I know you're gonna be my wife, this, that, and the third. And so after that talk, it got weird, it got crazy. So here I am, he deep in this insecure thing now. And so every time I want to get off the phone, it's because I want to talk to somebody, or either my ex is calling in, or I'm talking to some dudes at the job or whatever. Because once he came up there to the job, you better believe he walked through there to see how many men worked there. So he see this dude that worked there. He automatically assumed. He did. He assumed that me and him had something going on. He wasn't wrong, but we didn't have nothing going on when me and him was together. That's the only thing. We didn't have anything going on when me and him was together. But before him, yes. But he came in and it was like his spidey senses went off, and it was telling him that, yeah, them two got something going on. So he wouldn't let up off of that. I mean, he even walked up to the guy and was like, hey, yo, you gonna come to our wedding? He got his arm around me. He was like, you gonna come to our wedding? And then he kissed me or whatever. So every time he would come up there, he would always try to make a deal with this guy. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make a big deal and make a scene with him, because he just sensed that me and him got something going on now. But we didn't. We just had something going on before. So he comes, and where was I going with that? So yeah, he was, basically assuming that every time I wanted to, be off the phone with him or didn't want him to come over or whatever, that I wanted to be with somebody else. So I'm at work one night and I get a call. Of course, he's crying and he's drunk. At least I thought he was drunk. So when he calls me, he done full blown he's starting to lose it now. Like, he can't hold on no more. So he's like, I'm just gonna let things out one by one, and I'm gonna see how she react. And because I'm not judgmental, what I do, I still welcome you in. So he calls me one night and he's crying, and he's just like, I really need you to come and get me when you get off, because I done got into it with these people and ... And I'm just like, okay, now this stuff is getting out of hand. What you done did? And he's just like, man, I wasn't doing nothing, and this, that, and the third is, and it's always somebody else's fault. Somebody else did something. So I don't remember what exactly happened, but what I do remember him saying is that, bae, I got something to tell you. I kind of hate that word, don't I? I hate when people be like, I got something to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Then they have that low tone with it. That right there be like, oh, what done happened? So he was like, I kind of did something different that ain't good tonight, because I was mad and I couldn't stop thinking about my grandma and everything. And so I wanted to ease the pain. And I'm like, well, what did you do? He was like, I took a pill. What kind of pill? He told me what kind of pill he took or whatever. And I'm just like, why did you do that? And he was just like, I don't know, I just wanted to set the pain. All that crying drama and stuff like that. And so I'm like, here we go. At this time, the crying is still working or whatever, So I'm just like, oh, Lord, here we go. So I go get him, and he explained to me what kind of pill he done took or whatever. And he's just like, from time to time I do this when the pain get too unbearable and I can't take it no more, and this, that, and the third. And so I'm just like, you need to go talk to somebody then. You know what I'm saying? Because all of this reckless behavior is not going to get you anywhere. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm down to do that. Whatever I need to do, baby, I'm down to do that. So, I'm like, okay, well, if you would, you down to get the help or whatever, then we can I could work with you. You know what I'm saying? At least I thought. So now he's a alcoholic and he pop pills. But that ain't it. So video is getting too long now, so I'll come back with the other part. Y'all stay tuned. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. And I thank you guys for all your support and all you guys help do for me as far as my healing journey go, because if it wasn't for y'all, I would not be here in a sound mind healing the way that I'm healing right now. I'm telling you, y'all helping me as well as y'all say I'm helping y'all. Y'all doing your girl a big one. You really is, because I'm telling you, I'd be in a different place if it wasn't for y'all. Y'all taught me some stuff. And now all I'm doing is showing the love back. I'm giving it back to y'all. I'm showing myself approved in what I've learned. So I thank y'all for everything y'all do for me. Mwah. Have a good night.